K9 dog alerts at friendly teacher's car. What they discovered in trunk shocked entire school. Mr. Thompson was every parent's dream teacher. 20 years at Riverside Elementary, beloved by students and families alike, nominated for Teacher of the Year 3 times running. So when K9 Officer Davis brought his German Shepherd partner Rex to the school's career day, no one expected the dog to go absolutely crazy when he approached Thompson's Honda Civic. What they found in the trunk would shut down the school for a week and reveal that the man they'd trusted with their children was hiding something unthinkable. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this shocking story of a K9's instincts exposing a beloved teacher's dark secret, tell me in the comments, have you ever had a gut feeling about someone that everyone else loved and trusted? And if you believe these incredible animal heroes deserve recognition for protecting our children, hit that subscribe button and join our community celebrating the four-legged guardians who see through deceptions that fool even the adults. Robert Thompson had taught 4th grade at Riverside Elementary for 20 years, and in all that time, no one had ever heard a single complaint about him. Parents requested him specifically for their children. Students would return years later just to visit Mr. Tay, as they affectionately called him. He organized the annual science fair, coached the chess club, and volunteered for every school fundraiser. At 52, Thompson was the kind of teacher who made learning feel like an adventure. His classroom walls were covered with student artwork, achievement certificates, and photos from field trips. He knew every child's name in the school, remembered their siblings, and always had encouraging words for struggling students. He's a treasure, Principal Sarah Martinez often said about Thompson. Teachers like him are why I love working in education. Thompson lived alone in a modest house 2 miles from the school, having never married. He often joked that his students were his children, and he treated them with a kindness that seemed genuine. Parents trusted him completely, often asking him to tutor their children after school or during summer break. But on Tuesday, October 15th, that trust would be shattered by a dog who saw what no human suspected. Officer Jennifer Davis had been visiting schools with her K9 partner Rex for 3 years, as part of the department's community outreach program. The demonstrations were always popular with kids. They loved watching Rex find hidden objects, demonstrate obedience commands, and show off his tracking abilities. Rex was a 7-year-old German Shepherd with an impeccable service record. He'd helped solve dozens of cases, from drug busts to missing persons. More importantly, he had an uncanny ability to detect things that weren't supposed to be there. Drugs hidden in cars, weapons concealed in luggage, evidence buried underground. Davis pulled into the Riverside Elementary parking lot at 1:30 p.m., right on schedule for the 2 p.m. presentation. The school looked like a Norman Rockwell painting, red brick buildings surrounded by maple trees, just starting to turn autumn colors. Children's voices echoing from the playground, crossing guards ready to help with afternoon dismissal. Ready to meet some fans, Rex? Davis asked as she clipped on his working harness. Rex's tail wagged once, his professional acknowledgement that he was on duty. They walked through the main entrance, where Principal Martinez greeted them warmly. Officer Davis, the children are so excited. Mr. Thompson especially has been talking about this all week. He loves anything that gets the kids interested in community service. Davis smiled. She'd heard nothing but good things about Thompson from other officers who'd visited the school over the years. The presentation took place in the school gymnasium, with all 180 students sitting cross-legged on the polished floor. Davis explained Rex's training, demonstrated basic commands, and let the children ask questions about police work. Rex can smell things we can't even imagine, Davis told the excited crowd. His nose is thousands of times more sensitive than ours. He can detect drugs, explosives, even people who are hiding. Mr. Thompson sat with his 4th grade class near the front, smiling proudly as his students raised their hands to ask questions. He looked like any other dedicated teacher: khaki pants, blue button-down shirt, slightly graying hair, and wire-rimmed glasses that gave him a scholarly appearance. "Can Rex really find anyone who's hiding?" asked Emma, one of Thompson's students. "He's very good at it," Davis replied. "Rex has helped us find missing people many times. Dogs can track scents that are days old, even in difficult conditions." The demonstration went perfectly. Rex performed his commands flawlessly, found the hidden tennis ball that Davis had planted earlier, and even shook hands with several brave students. The children were delighted, and the teachers applauded enthusiastically. As the presentation ended, and students began filing back to their classrooms, Davis and Rex walked outside toward their patrol car. That's when everything changed. Rex had been perfectly calm throughout the school visit, professional and focused. But as they walked through the staff parking lot, his behavior suddenly shifted. His ears went forward, his pace slowed, and his nose began working the air with intense concentration. Davis recognized the signs immediately. Rex was detecting something. The dog led her directly to a silver Honda Civic parked in the teachers' section. The car was clean, unremarkable, with a Riverside Elementary parking sticker in the windshield. Rex circled the vehicle once, then sat beside the driver's door, his trained signal that he'd found something significant. "What is it, boy?" Davis asked, checking the license plate. The car was registered to Robert Thompson. Mr. Thompson appeared at that moment, walking toward them with a friendly smile, and his usual teacher's bag slung over his shoulder. "Officer Davis, what a wonderful presentation. The children are still talking about Rex." "Thank you," Davis replied, watching Rex carefully. The dog remained in his alert position, staring at the car with unwavering focus. "Is this your vehicle, Mr. Thompson?" "Yes, that's mine," Thompson said cheerfully. "Is everything okay?" "Rex seems very interested in it." Davis felt a familiar tension in her stomach. Rex didn't give false alerts, ever. But Thompson seemed completely relaxed, even amused by the dog's behavior. "Rex is indicating that there might be something in your car that requires investigation," Davis said carefully. "Would you mind if I took a look?" Thompson's smile never wavered. "Of course not. I have nothing to hide." Thompson unlocked his car with apparent cooperation, even holding the doors open as Davis began her inspection. The interior was meticulously clean. No fast food wrappers, no loose papers, no personal items visible anywhere. But Rex remained agitated, his attention focused specifically on the trunk area. Davis called for backup before proceeding, a standard protocol when a K9 alert occurred on school property. "I really don't understand what Rex is detecting," Thompson said, maintaining his friendly demeanor. "I just use this car to drive to work and back home. Maybe there's a smell from something I transported recently." When backup arrived, Davis requested permission to search the trunk. Thompson handed over his keys without hesitation, even helping to move a small cooler and some textbooks out of the way. That's when they found it. Hidden beneath the spare tire compartment was a waterproof bag containing items that made Davis's blood run cold. Zip ties, duct tape, chloroform, and dozens of photographs of children from the school. But most disturbing were the personal items: a small backpack, a pink hair ribbon, a toy car, things that clearly belonged to children but had no business being in a teacher's trunk. Thompson's friendly expression never changed, even as handcuffs were placed on his wrists. The discovery in Thompson's trunk launched an immediate and intensive investigation. The school was placed on lockdown, parents were notified, and FBI agents arrived within hours to process the evidence and interview Thompson. What they uncovered was a carefully planned operation that had been in development for months. Thompson had been using his position as a trusted teacher to identify potential victims, learn their schedules, and plan abductions that would have looked like random disappearances. He had detailed files on over 30 children. FBI agent Lisa Rodriguez told the hastily assembled parent meeting that evening. Photos, home addresses, family schedules, after-school activities. He knew which children walked home alone, which families both parents worked late shifts. The investigation revealed that Thompson had been gradually escalating his criminal behavior. The items in his trunk suggested he was preparing to move from planning to action. The personal belongings found in the car were traced to children from neighboring school districts who had been reported missing over the past 6 months. Rex's alert prevented what could have been a catastrophic series of abductions, Agent Rodriguez explained. Thompson had been positioning himself to grab multiple children over the coming weeks. As federal investigators dug deeper into Thompson's background, the full scope of his deception became clear. The beloved teacher had been living a double life for years, using his trusted position to gain access to children and their families. His home computer contained thousands of illegal images and detailed plans for child abduction. Hidden cameras had been installed in his classroom, disguised as educational equipment. He'd been recording students for years, building profiles, and identifying potential targets. This wasn't impulse, Detective Mark Stevens explained to the task force. Thompson had been grooming this entire community for years, building trust so that no one would suspect him when children started disappearing. Thompson had specifically requested to teach 4th grade, because children that age were old enough to be independent but young enough to be trusting. He'd volunteered for after-school activities and field trips to gain additional access to students outside normal classroom hours. The investigation also revealed connections to other suspected predators in different states. Thompson had been part of a network that shared information about potential victims and successful abduction techniques. Dr. Patricia Williams, a forensic psychologist who studied criminal behavior, was brought in to analyze how Rex had detected Thompson's criminal intent when no human had suspected anything. Dogs can detect stress hormones, deception chemicals, and even the residual scents of criminal materials, she explained. Rex likely smelled the chloroform, the fear sense from the personal items belonging to missing children, and possibly even Thompson's own stress pheromones. But Thompson seemed completely calm, Officer Davis pointed out. Psychopaths can control their surface behavior, Dr. Williams replied, but they can't control their chemical signatures. Rex was responding to biological evidence of criminal activity that Thompson couldn't fake. The case highlighted the value of K9 units in detecting crimes before they occurred. Rex hadn't just found evidence, he'd prevented a series of planned abductions that would have devastated multiple families. Thompson's trial became a national case study in how predators infiltrate trusted positions. The evidence against him was overwhelming: the materials in his car, the computer files, the hidden cameras, and testimony from families of missing children whose belongings were found in his possession. Robert Thompson spent 20 years building trust so he could exploit it. Prosecutor Amanda Chen told the jury. He used his position as a teacher not to educate children but to identify and plan attacks against them. Only a police dog's nose prevented him from carrying out those plans. Thompson maintained his innocence throughout the trial, claiming the evidence had been planted. But the forensic evidence was undeniable, and his connection to missing children from other districts provided additional proof of his criminal activities. He was convicted on multiple counts of child endangerment, possession of illegal materials, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. The judge sentenced him to life in prison, without the possibility of parole. Riverside Elementary faced a long road to recovery after Thompson's arrest. Parents struggled with the realization that they'd entrusted their children to a predator for years. Many students required counseling to process the betrayal of someone they'd trusted and admired. The hardest part is explaining to children that someone they loved was planning to hurt them, said Dr. Jennifer Park, the child psychologist brought in to help students cope. It challenges their basic understanding of trust and safety. The school implemented new background check procedures and security protocols. Parent volunteers were required for any after-school activities, and no teacher was allowed alone with students outside regular classroom hours. Principal Martinez, who had worked with Thompson for 15 years, struggled with her own feelings of guilt and betrayal. "I prided myself on knowing my staff," she said. "The fact that I worked beside him for years and never suspected anything haunts me." Rex received national recognition for preventing what investigators called one of the most sophisticated child predation schemes ever uncovered. He was awarded the American Kennel Club's Award for Canine Excellence and received commendations from law enforcement agencies across the country. But for Officer Davis, the most meaningful recognition came from the families whose children had been potential targets. "Rex saved my daughter," said Maria Santos, whose 9-year-old had been on Thompson's target list. "She walked home alone from school every day, right past where he was planning to grab her. That dog didn't just detect evidence, he protected our entire community." The case led to expanded K9 programs in schools across the nation. Rex's success in detecting concealed criminal materials inspired new training protocols for dogs working in educational environments. 2 years after Thompson's arrest, Davis and Rex continued their school visits with a new understanding of their importance. Parents now viewed their K9 demonstrations not just as educational entertainment, but as vital security measures. Rex taught us that protection isn't just about reacting to crimes after they happen, Davis explained to new K9 handlers. Sometimes it's about detecting crimes before they occur, identifying threats that are hiding in plain sight. Their visits to schools became more thorough, with Rex checking staff parking areas and storage rooms as part of routine security sweeps. The demonstrations remained educational and fun for children, but they served a dual purpose as active security. Thompson's case prompted a nationwide review of school security procedures and background check protocols. His ability to maintain a spotless reputation while planning attacks on children exposed vulnerabilities in systems designed to protect students. The Thompson case changed how we think about insider threats, explained Dr. Robert Kim, who developed new security protocols for educational institutions. We learned that the most dangerous predators are often the ones who work hardest to appear trustworthy. Schools across the country implemented new policies requiring multiple staff members to be present during any private interactions with students. Hidden camera systems were installed to monitor all classrooms and common areas. The investigation into Thompson's activities revealed that several warning signs had been missed over the years. Students had occasionally mentioned feeling uncomfortable with him, and some parents had noted his unusual interest in their children's personal lives. But his sterling reputation had prevented anyone from taking these concerns seriously. "We learned to listen to our children more carefully," said Dr. Sarah Chen, who led the community healing process. "Sometimes children sense danger that adults miss, just like Rex sensed danger that humans couldn't detect." The case also highlighted the importance of trusting animal instincts in security situations. Rex's alert had seemed unreasonable at the time. Thompson appeared completely innocent and cooperative, but the dog's nose had detected chemical evidence of criminal activity that no human sense could perceive. I still think about that afternoon at Riverside Elementary, about how a routine career day demonstration almost turned into a tragedy that would have destroyed countless families. If Davis had ignored Rex's alert, if she'd assumed the dog was just reacting to something innocent in Thompson's car, a predator would have continued operating with complete impunity until he was ready to strike. Rex's story teaches us something crucial about the hidden dangers that can exist in the most trusted spaces. Teachers, coaches, youth leaders, the people we entrust with our children's safety can sometimes be the very ones we need protection from. But it also shows us that vigilance comes in many forms, including the incredible instincts of animals who can detect deception that fools even trained adults. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had an animal react negatively to someone that everyone else trusted? Have you seen a dog or cat show unusual behavior around a person who seemed perfectly normal? These instincts might be more important than we realize, and they deserve our attention. Share your experiences in the comments below, because at Saved by Tales we believe that the safety of our children depends not just on human vigilance but on the incredible senses of our four-legged protectors who can smell lies and detect danger in ways we're only beginning to understand. If Rex's incredible story moved you, if it made you think differently about the animals who help keep our communities safe, please share this video with other parents and educators who need to hear it. Hit that like button, subscribe to Saved by Tales, and help us continue telling the stories of animals whose instincts protect our most vulnerable citizens. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the most important warnings come from those who can't speak, but whose noses never lie.